I'm reading a short bit from an earlier novel of mine. Peg slapped the snooze button of her alarm for the 4th time. She stayed beneath her comforter and began to assess the damage. When she reached for the other side of the bed, there was no stranger lying next to her. That was promising. And swung her legs to the side of the bed. A groan escaped. There's no question she'd drunk plenty. The hangover was bad. She knew she'd survive it, though why she'd want to was becoming a question. She glanced at her clock and remembered she had a meeting with her staff in an hour. She'd need to be coherent, decisive. At the moment, that didn't seem remotely possible. She stood on shaky legs and made her way to the bathroom, shuffling through the weeks of dirty laundry flung about the room. She passed a stack of beer cans in the living room and empty bottles cluttering the dining room table. Had she drunk all of that last night? She hadn't a clue. She peeked in the kitchen. A stack of dirty dishes teetered in the sink. The bits of food clinging to them were starting to smell. She entered the bathroom and saw clearly what the situation had been the night before. The toilet seat was up and there was vomit around the rim. Her stomach instantly rebelled. She fell to her knees and emptied out what she could. She hadn't eaten since breakfast the day before. There wasn't much to throw up. But her body seemed to insist that there was. Wave after wave of gut-clenching nausea overwhelmed her, leaving her sobbing, drenched with sweat, trembling. She lay at the base of the toilet, the porcelain cool against her face. Her alarm clock went off in the distance. The only thing she remembered distinctly was leaving work at a reasonable hour, with a promise to not stop at any bars on the way home, and a further promise to not have more than 3 beers once she got there. She made it past the bars, but at the end of her 3rd beer at home, she found a favorite movie on TV, which called for a bottle of scotch. After that, the evening was a blank. The drinking limits she'd made up were a joke. She'd yet to adhere to one of them. Only beer and wine during the week, no drinking before 5 on the weekend, 1 glass of wine with dinner, no shots at the bar, only drinking with other people, only drinking alone, eat something before drinking, no drinking on Mondays and Tuesdays. She knew she couldn't do even the easiest of these, and each day she felt despair grip her firmly and only let her loose when she picked up a drink again. She hauled herself up and got ready for work. I'm just going to fast forward to the end of her day. She got to Halliday's at 8 and headed to the back room. She'd just come from a women's bar in the village where she'd fortified herself with drinks and some mildly flirtatious talk with a new bartender. As she reached the end of the bar, a woman stood and grabbed onto her coat sleeve. She was nearly as tall as Peg and dressed in an exquisite business suit. Her green eyes bore into Peg's questioning ones. "You said you'd call," the woman said. It wasn't an accusation or complaint, just a fact. Peg tried to step back from her, but she still had hold of her arm. She didn't have the faintest notion who she was, but she knew she wasn't going to enjoy finding out. She smiled at the woman and gently removed her arm from her grip. "Remind me when it was I said that to you, and remind me of your name too. I'm absolutely terrible at those." She tried to keep it conversational. "You don't remember me?" She started to look unhappy. "I'm Angie. You said my name enough times. You think you'd remember that." "I remember you, of course. I just need a little help with the where and when," Peg said. Angie sat back on her bar stool and gave Peg some breathing space. "It was last Tuesday at Vixen's." "Christ, there's no way I could forget that night, not with you." Angie looked unhappier still. "You said I was the best you'd ever had. Why would you blow off the best lover you'd ever had?" "Why, indeed," Peg said. "I wouldn't anyway." She felt clammy. She got Angie's number, gave her a kiss on the cheek, and hurried toward the back room.